4-year-olds are a little different than 3-year-olds, so I want to talk a little bit about that. As far as 4-year-old development, you look at different aspects of their development. Large muscle, they're able to walk backwards, they're able to hop, their throw will go from this, for the sidewinder, to an overhand throw with an alternate step. Catching, those skills will be more refined as a 4-year-old. Again, these are skills that they may be able to do as a 3-year-old, but we're talking about a developmental continuum, so as they're progressing along this, they may do better on some areas of development as far as being on that continuum than others. Small muscles, cutting between lines, cutting on lines, doing curves, those are things that they're getting better at, as well as using sewing cards, stringing beads, some of the fine motor skills, is those muscles develop. As far as self-help skills, 4-year-olds are much more able to take care of their own needs, maybe even getting a snack if you have it on the shelf for them, buttoning, dressing themselves, choosing their own clothes, making it match, other than if their personality is one that doesn't allow that. Being able to use the bathroom on their own, not just going to the bathroom, but being able to take care of their needs afterwards and washing their hands, brushing the teeth, carrying glasses, and not spilling, being able to do those types of things. As far as language goes, they're able to answer questions that you ask them related to other topics, not just to themselves, be able to tell stories of their own, dramatize a story, show pleasure in new words or words with funny sounds, playing with words in silly ways. Lots of times we'll get those rhyming. That's some of the reason why potty talk is so popular at that age, is that sound and playing with words, and the rhyming sometimes turns into potty talk, which is always fun for parents because you want to encourage the rhyming, but not some of those other words that come from that. They're able to ask questions in order to find out information that they want about topics, not just to engage you in conversation. And they're also able to use past tense appropriately. Socially and emotionally, they like to do grown-up things. They like to experiment and solve their own problems. They oftentimes want to find their own way to do things, sometimes just to be their own way. Oftentimes they need more space for their play, and they are more able to comfort others and to see others' perspectives. They're also able to play more cooperatively. Lots of times with 3-year-olds, it's very typical to see parallel play, which is where they're playing with the same thing next to each other, doing very similar things, but there's not cooperative interaction. So with the 4-year-olds, you'll typically see more of that. Their dramatic play especially becomes very engaged, and they take on roles of, you be the mommy, I'll be the cat, and the dog, and the baby, and those types of things. So that their play changes in that way. Cognitively, they're able to draw a person with several body parts, so it's not just the fine motor of drawing that, but the spatial relations. What does the body look like? The head's on top, and then the body and arms and legs and all of those parts. They're able to put together a 10-piece puzzle typically, identify letters in their name, identify their name. Many of the 3-year-olds I know can already identify their name and may know some letters. Match, recognize, and name colors, shapes, and textures. Count from 1 to 10, and then also have a concept of number to about 4. Concept of number is different than even counting. Counting is really just kind of memorization, pattern, kind of in some ways not different than learning a song, much like the ABCs is not letter recognition. But concept of number is 4 is more than 2. If they see sister has 3 cookies and they have 2 cookies, they get that that's not the same. So that's the difference there. So what are the differences between our 3-year-old and our 4-year-old program? In general, in the 4-year-old program, we do have the Handwriting Without Tears program. In the 3, they're introduced to MapMan, but in the 4s, it's more focused on how to actually write the letters and numbers, and it breaks apart big line, little line, and using those parts to make letters. They also have more focused instruction time. They're able to attend longer, and so there's more teacher-directed activities, and maybe a longer large group time. They move different areas of the building a little more frequently than the threes, especially at the beginning. The threes didn't go to the ARC right away. In the 4-year-old program, they go to the ARC each day. They tend to do an art activity in the room next to the ARC room, and that opens up to the ARC in a dramatic play area. So they go there each day because they don't have as much dramatic play right there in their classrooms. And then, of course, there's a little bit more of a literacy focus, more letter recognition and phonemic awareness skills. For example, phonemic awareness is if you have a name that starts with B, you need to go wash your hands. So they're getting into that letter sounds, and they'll also talk a little bit more about concepts about print. How do I know where to start when I'm reading? Which way do I go? Those kinds of things as well.